back down from the sky where you left my soul. Can you help me fly? I can't resist, 'cause you have got a hold on me. And all these thoughts, when you are here, you light up the dark sides. To live in the night shine, you take my life and light every side. You fade the dark inside. The living light shines. Trace of the night on the way back down from the sky where you left my soul. Can you help me fly? I can't resist, 'cause you have got a hold on me. And all these thoughts, when you are here, you light up the dark sides. To live in the night shine, you take my life and light every side. You fade the dark inside. The living light shines.
Turn up the music. I think I'm in love again. Come on over closer, baby. We can be pretend. Maybe I think too much, or maybe we haven't had enough. All we need is a little trust. Into the sky we go and light it up. Won't you stay the night? We can dance and sing forever. No, I won't waste your time. Yeah, you have something to remember. We could be so you lose it now. It's the way it goes, that we both know. Maybe I fall in love too easy, but maybe you make it too appealing. Either way, I don't mind. No, I don't. No, I don't. Won't you stay the night? We can dance and sing forever. No, I won't waste your time. Yeah, we can have all right adventure.
I'm feeling so hollow. Don't you know? Don't you know? I'm living in shadow. Don't you know? Don't you know? I fell for fool's gold. I fell for fool's gold. What did I know? What did I know? I fell for fool's gold. I fell for fool's gold. What did I know? What did I know? You were fool's gold. Yes, I did. And I did it all for love. Yes, I did it all for love. Oh, they say fools believe in it, so I guess I'm one of them. Oh, don't you know? I fell for fool's gold. I fell for fool's gold. What did I know? What did I know? I fell for fool's gold. I fell for fool's gold. What did I know? What did I know? You were fool's gold. Yes, I did.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another AFR broadcast. Today we're coming to you from the Hockenheim ring in Germany for our F2 Spec series. As usual, I am Kunai Zero, and it looks like tonight I will be commentating solo. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully I don't bore you guys too much. Okay, so I have just been informed that both the feature and sprint race are wet. So we're going to have two wet races here in Germany. That will, of course, give us quite a lot of chaos, as it seems to be with the F2... Whoa, Geordie. Alright, so Geordie's been disqualified for driving the wrong way, and it is about 2 minutes in. Fair enough. Okay. Where was I before I got sidetracked there? Right, yes, so two wet races here at the Hockenheim ring for the F2 series. So yes, it'll probably be quite chaotic if I had to guess. But we will wait and see. Alright, so 28 minutes and 23 left on the clock as our drivers go around for their qualification laps. We're on board here with Ali, who has really been showing some great talent in all of the races he's competed in. A little bit unlucky sometimes, but he's getting better and better at keeping the consistency there, so we should see a good showing from him tonight. Hopefully I haven't cursed him by saying so, but we'll see how that goes. Looks like Jacob Meister's retired from the session. We're looking at a restart maybe? Possibly. I'll have to get back to you guys on that. We'll see how it all goes. Hope this doesn't turn into a mess like the last one. Gosh, the last one was such a mess. Alright, so Ali's coming across the line there. He'll start his flying lap here at the Hockenheim ring. So we'll go through it. Just going around turn 1, the Nord curve. And up through all of the gears as you make your way into turn 2. Hard on the brakes, down through the gears. Make your way around that apex. And that puts you in a nice setup for 3 and 4. Which is then, of course, a long sweeping left-hand turn called the Parabolica. And then that puts you all the way down straight shot to the hairpin. Hit that 100-meter board. Down through the gears, hard on the brakes. You can see that front right getting a lot of pressure there, locking up as he comes around the hairpin. Then you get a little short stint all the way up to turn 7. Usually hit about 6th gear in the apex here. Holds it about. There we go. And then you go down a couple. That puts you into Mercedes. Turns 8 and 9. And then you got that right into 10. And you get another mini straight here as you punch up through all the gears. That'll put you into mobile corner. Turn 11. Nice use of the exit there as White heats it to 124.8 there. And then you get into Sachs corner. And this is infamous. A lot of cars go off here, especially when it's wet. You lose a lot of traction as you're trying to slow down for that turn. And you end up in the gravel trap, as we saw, if you remember. Vettel was claimed to that, which ended up taking his chances out. So it's unfortunate for him. So Ali comes across the line with a 125.0. Nutt, of course, came across with a 125.9, and Lotus on the super soft compound comes across with a 123.7. So currently, he is the fastest person on the board. He will take provisional pole for now. 25 minutes and 45 seconds remaining, so it's plenty of time for someone else to try and take that place. Right now we're on board with combined. Jacob lost it in the first corner. That makes a lot more sense. Well, that is very unfortunate. I have to admit, you would think you would be the most unfortunate person here in this lobby, but in fact Geordie is, because he exited the pits and got disqualified. So, whatever happened there. Alright, so combined now coming around Sachs. Let's have a look here. 1 minute 10 on that sector 3. We'll see if he can set a great time. Coming around that final corner now. Sud curve, as it's called. And he'll cross the line here with a 124.5. Not bad. Puts him in 3rd. We'll see if there can be any improvements. So the rest of the grid has set their times. Bandcamp with a 125.6, CK80 with a 135.9. Of course, very early on, so we're seeing a lot of warm-up laps here. Smitty comes back to the pits. Wasn't happy with his first attempt, so he'll restructure. He spun out around turn 3 and got insta-DQ'd. We don't know why. All right, fair enough. The disqualification message that came up for us here on the broadcast team was that he was facing the wrong way. So I assume the game sort of just triggered that he was on the track or something, and it disqualified him, which is quite unfortunate, because of course that'll mean that he will start from the back with yourself. Ooh, this combine gets a little bit sideways there. Alright, let's jump up one. Here we go. So Potsy coming around that final corner. Will it be an improvement on his time? It is by almost 3 tenths. So that'll put him up in a second. 1:24.1 there from the Virtuosi driver. Let's have a look down with Nut. So he's obviously he's just coming back into the pits, if I had to guess. Doesn't really seem to be carrying a lot of pace. So as it stands, Lotus still with the fastest time. However, he did set that on the super soft, so it's not something that's crazy to understand. Of course, super softs being a lot grippier and a lot faster on track. So we'll see if anybody else decides to switch over to that tyre compound to set a faster lap. I'll be honest, I'm not too sure of the tyre strategy here at the Hockenheim ring. In the first feature race, of course, they do have to make their mandatory pit stop and their mandatory tyre change. So we'll see if they if they start on the medium, do they want to end on the faster compound, do they want to start on the faster compound, get an early pit stop and then take it to the end. We'll see. So Wahid switches out onto the super soft tyre. So we can see Bandcamp here low on fuel. So Smitty is on an out lap, switch to him. So Smitty, only person on the grid right now who has not set a time. But with 22 minutes remaining, there is plenty of time to do so. So currently on his out lap, we'll see where he stacks up against the rest of the grid. Currently on the medium compound, we can see that a bunch of other drivers have swapped. So Wahid is currently on the super softs as well. Ali on the super softs. Nut has switched over to the super softs. So it does look like the super softs will be the qualification tyre of choice for the majority of the grid as they start coming out. But here we are on board with Smitty. He'll cross the line, start for his flying lap. No, there we go. I thought the timing board was good start, but we're not. So now he'll make his way down into turn 2. Hopefully the traffic will get out of the way. Will Nut go off onto the outside of the track? No, he doesn't. God, I really hope this doesn't hamper Smitty's time. No, he moves over to the left side of the track. Good job there. So that'll let Smitty go unobstructed through Parabolica. Up in 6th gear, 100 metre board, hard on the brakes. Let's have a look. So, coming through sector 2 now. Ooh, a little bit of wiggle there, had to fight that steering wheel. So that's going to scrub off some time, but we'll see how much it will cost him when he crosses that line. Now moving into Mercedes. Let's have a look here. Nice use of the apex. See if we can maintain the speed going through. Seems okay, goes a little bit wide, touches the green stuff. 57.9 into sector 2, so now we'll start a sector 3 run. Here it is, the nuts and bolts of it all. He's got to make it count here. Moving through Sachs Curve, uses all of the track, that's nice. 113 now as we come up to those final couple of corners. Let's see if he can maintain it. Hits a 120 as he moves on to that last straight, uses that curb. He'll probably cross with a 124.92, so that'll put him in 6th, slotting right between Ali and Bandcamp there on the medium tyre. So we've got a couple of more people on their out lap. We'll jump on board with Wahid, who is currently doing his flying lap. As you can see, he was 2 tenths down on his sector 1. Let's have a look here. Hard on the brakes. Through Mercedes. So Wahid currently sitting 4th. Previous time set was a 1:24.6. And at his current rate, he will be improving, but the question is by how much? Down into the final couple of corners. And he'll come across the line. Let's have a look with a 1:23.6. That is the fastest lap so far this qualifying session. That's going to put him there on top. That's provisional pole. Knocks Lotus down a peg. Let's jump on board here with Ali. He is also improving by not that much. He was only 100th up on his time just then. So Wahid takes the lead. Ali currently in 6th with a 1:24.8. We'll see if he can bump himself up a couple of positions. Coming around here, it's looking pretty good. 120 as he hits that green stuff. So will he cross the line with a 1:24? No, it's a 1:23.7. That'll put him in 3rd. Not bad. Not bad. Good drive there. Alright, let's jump on board with CK80. He's currently on his flying lap. Currently the last person on the grid with a 1:26.7. Oh, but he had an absolutely terrible exit there at the hairpin. That's going to scrub so much time, and it's probably safe to say he won't be improving. He'll hit the sector 2 clock somewhere around here soon. Potsy comes across with a 1:23.3, and that'll put him into the lead, but CK80 improved there by 8/10, even with the mess up there. So okay, so it will be an improvement on his time, but not as much as it could be if he had nailed that corner properly. You can see Nut there off the track, so CK80 will come around that last corner. So we're looking at probably the 1:25 range. There it is, 1:25.6. So still last on the grid, but room for improvement. Let's jump on board with Bandcamp now. You can see currently he's 5/10 up on his time. Currently sitting 8th with a 1:25.0. We'll see how much he can jump up as he makes his way to the last section of the track. Last couple of corners here through Sud Curve. Using that exit curve nicely. He's probably looking at a 1:23, late 1:23. Oh, it's a 1:24.0. So he improves his time by 9/10. That'll put him up into 6th. Knocks Smitty and Combined down 1. Not bad. Okay. So let's jump up to Lotus. He's currently on a flying lap, but it looks like he's had a couple of mistakes. Currently 1/10 down on his time. Potsy improves again with a 1:22.8. That's almost a second quicker than the second place driver. There it is. Lotus comes across with a 1:24.09. Not great, so we'll have to try and improve on that time. Is he going out on another run? Not sure about that one. Let's have a go with Wahid here. You can see that fuel light dropping. He's come across the line but hasn't improved at all. He'll stay at a 1:23.5. Currently in 2nd. Potsy setting a quick time to try and beat for that pole position. So as it stands right now, he will gain the 4 extra points for his trouble. Sphinx has joined us. Better late than never. He'll have to start from the back, but we know how talented Sphinx is here, especially in the F2 series, so prepare for some magic. Then again, wet races. So we'll see. Ooh. Wahid almost. Oh, a little bit wide there in the pit lane. Alright, let's jump on board with Combined, who's currently on his flying lap, sector 1. Currently 3/10 up on his time. So Combined sitting in 7th, 1:24.5. Let's have a look at how much he improves as he comes round the track. Palm on the brakes here for the hairpin. Ooh, a little bit of sliding. That's going to hurt the clock. Oh, and he didn't get a great exit either. Yeah, he's called it. That's okay. So combined YouTuber just setting up for another run. Might jump on board with Smitty. Currently sitting 8th, 1 at 24.838. See if he can improve at all. CK80 retires. So Wahid retired with a 1 at 23.5. That's him in second. Nut retired with a 1 at 23.8. He's currently 5th. CK80 retires with a 1 at 25.1. Currently sitting last in the qualifying. However, he isn't last on the grid due to, of course, the retirement and the disqualification earlier on from Jacob and Geordie, respectively. So Smitty now coming through Sector 1. Looks like his Sector 2 is 1.2 seconds slower. That's got to hurt. Okay, so this isn't looking good for him at all. Potsy will retire with a 122.8, still holding provisional pole. So it's looking like quite a great start for him. As Smitty makes his way around that track, and it's already at a 122 as he gets that green stuff. This is going to be quite a slow time. It's looking in the 127s, maybe 126.7. Yep, no improvement at all. He will stay 8th. We'll see if he decides to go around for another go. Let's jump up one. Bandcamp retires from the session. He's currently 6th. Now let's have a look here. Combined binned the earlier attempt. He's got to try and get one of these right. See if he can improve from 7th. Okay, so swinging there through Mobile Corner. Coming up into Sachs Curve. Looking pretty good. 120 as he hits the curb. This might be a 123 late. There it is, a 123.4. Puts him into second. Not quite pole, but knocks Wahid and Ali down. So that is a great improvement drive there from combined. Only person left now, of course, is Smitty, who, judging by that Sector 2 time, was up. So let's have a look. 120 as he hits that curb. It's just going to be under combined. But can he slot himself into third? Not quite. 124.1. So he will stay in 8th position, as he is the last to cross the line. And that will be our qualifying session done. So we'll have another last look at these standings. And there we are, Potsy with a great drive there, 122.877. That'll put him on pole and get him 4 points for doing so. Combined with a great drive there at the end, he had a 123.4. That put him in second place, 0.5 behind the leader. Wahid dropped down by 1 for third with a 123.5. Ali with a 123.6. That'll put him in fourth. And a great drive by everyone else here on the grid. Unfortunate for Geordie with that incident earlier on. That did get him disqualified. And, of course, Jacob as well, who was forcibly retired from the session. So they will have to start at the back. All right, so with qualification done, now all we have to do is get ourselves ready for the race. And it is torrential here at Hockenheim. This is going to be insane for our drivers to try and navigate. But we might just see a repeat of 2019's infamous, I'd say, Hockenheim race, which was, of course, the last race at Hockenheim for the F1 calendar, or at least for the foreseeable future. We'll see if they decide to renew that contract at any time. But this will be interesting. We'll see how our F2 drivers can navigate through the oncoming storm. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Alright, so all of our drivers have set up and are ready to go. Of course, for those of you who may not be familiar, the F2 series is a spec series, which means that, of course, all cars are of equal setup. All fuel loads are predetermined. So the only thing that really comes down to is how well you can make those 4 tyres work in your favour. Alright, so into the formation lap. 12 drivers on the grid. You can see they're trying to get the warmth in. Jesus Christ, Potsy is keen. Have a look at that drift action. Trying to imitate Revo a little bit there, I think. Okay. So, let us get set up here with our UIs. I really wish it would save what you had so you didn't have to keep doing this. But anyway, hopes for a future game. So everyone's starting on the wet, it should indicate how indeed wet it is. Usually when it rains, you see the majority of people go for the inter tyre because the wet tyre is just so slow. But of course, when it's raining this heavy, you've got no choice. Otherwise, you can see, man, half the grid is sideways right now. So of course, very intense rain out there. You can see the puddles on the track as well. That's nuts. Props to the graphics team, of course, at Codemasters. You make a beautiful looking game. Admittedly, it has bugs, but F2 cars don't have inters. You are correct. F2 cars don't have inters. It totally spaced my mind that we're watching F2 cars. I am on point today. Thank you, Revo. It is only dry or wet tyres. That's correct. Huh. Right, so anyway, that last 5-minute segment, just throw it out. Alright, so Potsy coming across there. Oh, you can see that 3 drivers had a couple of incidents there on the formation lap, so they'll start with low temp tyres. Ooh, okay, so we'll see how this pans out. I mean, I feel like this turn 1's going to be pretty full on. As we wait for the last of the cars to grid up. Okay, here we go. So everybody's now ready to go. We wait for those red lights to count down and turn off. 19 laps here in the feature race. Let's have a look. Lights go off. Everybody moves. Here we go. So Potsy gets a decent start. Looks like Combine's trying to get up. You can see the amount of traction loss. Nuts having a little bit of issues there. Oh, but Potsy drops down a little bit. Now they're side by side. There's contact already. Combined goes off to the side. And he causes a massive pile-up. Oh my god. Okay, so there's probably going to be a restart based on the amount of cars that were affected. Oh my god, and Jordy gets disqualified for parking in it. That guy cannot get a break. Alright, so if I had to take a guess, I would say that there will be a restart. That was quite an intense turn 1. We'll have a quick watch of it. Have a look. Oh. Fortunately capped it too late. That's how good I am. But you can see how many cars were affected. Jesus. Yeah, now that looks like that's... I'm sure that'll be a restart. But I mean, everyone's still driving like it isn't, so... I guess we keep going. Alright, until I hear otherwise. The race is still on, so Potsy doing his best to keep that car straight. There were a couple of drivers with some damage. I think Ali got out of it unscathed. Lotus, it looks like, is... Let's have a look at him. I think we might be missing a bit of an end plate. No, he's okay as well. So it's definitely the guys at the back. Alright, so they're coming around that final corner there. That'll kick off lap 2. Let's have a look at what these intervals are. Ali crosses the line. So he is currently 2.5 seconds behind our leader. Lotus and Sphinx both 0.5 seconds behind each other. And the race has already started. Have a look here. Sphinx very, very close. He's looking to go up on the inside. Oh, but he's got to watch out because no traction on those tyres. Lotus goes out a little bit wide. That's going to allow Sphinx to probably get the lead. There he goes, straight past. Great job there from Sphinx. He'll take third. But coming into the hairpin, will he be able to make the dive. Lotus looks on the inside, but he'll probably take the safer option. Oh, side by side, and he gets a way better exit. A little bit of contact there from both cars, but Lotus, great exit out of that apex. My God. Okay, so Sphinx falls back into 4th again. And you can see the massive gap there between 5th and 6th. That's where the incident obviously had the biggest impact. 20 seconds, with Nut 18 seconds behind him. I have to admit, it's weird that they haven't decided to call a restart considering how early on the crash was, but let the racers race. So right now Sphinx is the closest on field, 0.7 behind Lotus. After Lotus got that amazing corner exit, put himself back into 3rd. Potsy with a 4.6 second lead. Looks like Ali's having a bit of trouble here in the wet. Lotus is slowly creeping up onto the back of him, however, Sphinx is doing the same. Let's jump back 1 position. And this is what it looks like for our drivers out there. You can see how much rain there actually is, smearing the camera. Doesn't do any wonders for their handling either, so they've got to try and navigate at 250 plus kph. With all of that, Lotus goes out a little bit wide. That's probably going to allow Sphinx to catch up a little bit. And here we go. Of course, no DRS because it is raining, and that would be absolute mayhem. So Sphinx makes it across, currently in front. But will Lotus get that amazing brake line into the hairpin again? Let's have a look. He goes on the inside. He goes mega deep. That's a Lotus. That's a massive cut. Jesus. Half the car on the green, but looks like Sphinx will have the better traction coming out due to that tight corner. Sphinx will hold on to 3rd, and they move through. But Lotus is not letting go by any means. Looks to see if he can get a little bit of a shot up on the inside. You can see these cars sliding left and right. They're doing everything they can to try and wrestle them in line. But we know how much of a mule these cars can be, especially in the rain. We're seeing the gap with those back cars starting to drop down slightly. You can see Jacob Meister's gone from 20 to 15 seconds. Nutt's still at the 20-second mark. Bandcamp got caught in the middle of all the things too. He's only 4 seconds behind Nut there. And Wahid, 10 seconds behind 8th. So that's going to be hell to try and make up. Potsy's still setting faster laps, so he is well within his groove here at Hockenheim, especially in the wet. He's doing a great job. 6.3 seconds ahead of Ali there. So you can see the grip line. Obviously the racing lines start to form. And obviously that's where you're going to get the best performance from the car. Less water flinging off the tyres, which means more contact on the tarmac. But you can see how difficult it is for some of these guys. Lotus with a really, really wide turn there. And you can see Combined just behind as well. He did the same. Oh, you can see how hard it is for him to come around there. Getting a little bit sideways. And you also don't want to touch those outside, just outside the curve. They are slippery as hell. And they will definitely put your car into a wall if there is one close. As we saw with Hülkenberg when he hit that the drag strip. Put himself off the track. Coming around Sachs curve there. So you have to keep the revs low. You've got to try and maintain as much momentum as you can without spinning those back tyres, because that will spell game over for you. So Lotus feathering that throttle, trying to catch back up to Sphinx, but it looks like Sphinx found his groove as well. Currently 3 seconds ahead from 4th here. Potsy's managed to blow out his lead to 8.3, and Sphinx is so fast, he's catching Ali. He's brought it down to within underneath that 1 second. So let's jump up one again. So Sphinx trying his best to catch up to his teammate, I believe. No. Yes, sorry. Both ART. You can see just how slow they have to come out of that hairpin. Because you can't just, put your foot flat on that pedal. It'll just go absolutely everywhere. Oh, and you can see there as Lotus goes way wide. Gets a little bit of slip coming through that corner. And those are the types of things. It rains, you've got to adjust all of your braking points. You've got to adjust the speed at which you come into these corners. It's a whole different ball game here in the wet, and you can see where some of these drivers tend to get unstuck. Potsy, however, doing an amazing job. Now he's blown out the lead to 9 seconds and sets another fastest time. I mean, that's going to keep happening as the fuel load goes down, of course. Less weight in the car. Lap 6 of 19. Sphinx is doing an amazing job here to try and chase down his teammate. He's brought it to 0.6 of a second. But a very late break there put him into the wet stuff. So now he's going to have to try and regain the momentum that he lost through the parabolica. And it does look like Sphinx's car just has a little bit more go than that of his teammates there as we pull into the hairpin. Critical point here. Ali goes out wide, you see. Sphinx stays on to the grippy stuff. That's going to allow him to overtake, currently in second. Ali has no choice but to let him past. Good drive there from Sphinx, who of course started at the back of the grid due to his late entry. So a very good drive there. Of course, we had that massive incident turn 1. But nonetheless, has put himself into second. The gap now 10.3 seconds between first and second. Potsy is absolutely driving the crap out of that car. Alright, let's have a look at the back of the grid. Bandcamp currently in 8th position, trying to chase down Nut. Nut goes out way wide. That's going to cost him. Bandcamp's definitely going to capitalise on here. Looks like he's going to try and go on the outside. Nut centres himself in the track. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. Let's have a look. So Nut go. All right, Bandcamp has to back off a little to avoid an incident. But Nut is definitely on the back foot. You can see how much his car is sliding as they go out. He's trying to keep that traction under control, but it's not quite working. And Bandcamp's definitely getting the better side of this. Let's have a look. Yep, Nut goes out past that, past the lines. So coming through here, lap 7. Here we go through the Nord curve. That goes out wide again. How long will it take for Bandcamp to catch up? It's probably going to get it done through the parabolica, if I had to guess. So through this long walking parabolica, 0.3 is the gap now. Will he be able to get it done before the hairpin? Probably not, but he will be looking for that inside dive. No, he plays it safe. Sticks to the line. Oh, but have a look at Nut. He goes out on the outside, and it's going to drift past. Oh! So close to taking out the front of Bandcamp there. That is so lucky. See if we... Oh, Sphinx sets a 1:38.1. Here we go. So Nut having a lot of trouble coming out of these corners. All Bandcamp has to do is sit and wait and probably capitalise. Oh, as Nut goes wide on Sack's corner, that's going to give Band all he needed. Oh no, Nut manages to stay in front. Can he hold on through the final curve? Wow. Okay, so Bandcamp still on the... Ooh, geez, a little bit of sideways action. But managed to keep it under control. Alright, so back into the Parabolica. Will he be able to catch him? Looks for that inside. Hard on the brakes. Nut usually goes out much wider, and this is no exception, but he goes up on the inside. A little bit of sideways action. And Bandcamp makes a move. So Nut gets forced back into 8th. Bandcamp makes the position. Great job. Let's see if he can keep it. We'll just go back slightly. I'll just see if I... Ooh, hold on a minute. Oh, Nut getting oh so close to the back of that car. Very lucky not to get any damage. We'll just see if we got that. Yeah, as you can see, this is earlier when Nut hit the traction just so close to the front of Band's car. Whew, very, very lucky. Off to the side again. Definitely having a lot of trouble with the handling of this car. The rain not helping him at all. But considering his closest rival would be 30 seconds away. Nut. Jesus. Managed to put that car back on track. He's really got to get that under control. He's going to find himself in a wall very soon. Lap 9 of 19. Potty is still your race leader with a 10-second lead between him and Sphinx in second place. Ali, Sphinx's teammate, currently 8.8 seconds behind. Lotus 1.5 seconds behind him. So quite a big blowout in terms of gaps there at the front of the pack. And then of course from 6th onwards it's absolute mayhem. 13 seconds there for Jacob. Alright, so Potsy, Sphinx and Lotus all call it lap 10 of 19. They come in to the pits. So does that mean that the rain is easing up? It must be. It looks like they'll probably switch to... No. They stay on the wet tyre. As Bandcamp sends the fastest lap there with a 1:38.0. Ooh. Not bad. Alright, I might have to be corrected on this. But in a wet race, you don't have to change tyres. I guess the grip must have fell off and they felt like fresh ones. Okay, well, let's have a look here. Band gets the overtake there on Lotus. So Lotus gets a little bit of a bad corner exit coming out of the hairpin. So that puts Band up in 5th. So Ali currently in the lead. Ooh, not with a 3-second time penalty there. Lotus lost wing right out of the pits. Oh, there it is. Yes, you can see that. Front right. Oh, no, that's going to be a nightmare. That's going to be a nightmare here in the rain. This combined comes into the pits now. So Ali is currently your temporary leader, but of course, if he pits, he'll... Oh, you can see how savage that handling is as Nut makes his way past. Lotus will probably have no choice but to pull in. Yep. Gonna pull in. Oh, jeez. Putting it into neutral? Well, let's have a look. Alright, so. New tyres. New front wing. That's a horrendously long pit stop. I came back to my PC being at the lock screen. Now I'm worried that it'd be SOD or something. I think you can check them in the event logs. Yes, I think there are crash logs in Windows. Alright, so Lotus comes out. He will rejoin in 9th. Potty sets the fastest lap again, a 1:37.3. Sphinx takes it again, 1:37.2. As Ali goes back into the pits. Oh, sorry, I think that's him going into the pits for the first time. So let's see where he exits out. He's coming out now. That's not a bad drive. He exits exactly where he left. Third position there. So unfortunate for Lotus. He got shot all the way down to the bottom. Nut goes into the pits again as well. He'll sit on fresh tyres. So right now everyone is pretty much on fresh tyres except of course Bandcamp and Wahid. Bandcamp probably trying to see how long he can maximise them. So Potty right now 14.8 seconds in the lead from Sphinx. Lap 12 of 19. As Potty sets a fastest lap, 1:37.1. Let's see if Sphinx will come across and break it. And there it is, 1:36.6. So Sphinx is, he's pushing that car. But 14 seconds in, what's that, 6 laps? Probably not. Oof, going off into the grass a little bit. Combined YouTuber with a 3-second time penalty. If you can see a little bit of drifting there coming around that hairpin. Let's go back to Bandcamp. Just want to have a look what this handling's like. He's on 11 lap old wet tyres. Now I do know that they degrade somewhat, but let's see if it's of any. It doesn't seem to be affecting him so crazy, so they've obviously got to be slower than, of course, any of the fresher wets. But, I don't know, it looks like the rain's easing up. So, not sure about F2 cars, but in F1 cars, the wets can do the entire race. Yeah, that's where I got a little bit weird, because you have the majority of the grid coming in to pit, but as far as I'm aware, you don't have to. So, I could be wrong there. I probably am. But yeah, I thought the mandatory pit stop was null and void if it was a wet race. However, the majority of the grid's done it, so whatever. 14 of 19. Here we are. As They come across the line. Bandcamp will set a faster lap than usual, 137.8. So they don't seem to be too bad. Let's drop down one. Jacob Meister, currently 6th position. Of course, got caught up in the turn 1 mess. You can see Lotus in the back there. Really pushing that car. He's starting to bring up the time between him and Wahid, currently 2 seconds. Got a sector 1 yellow flag. Looks like Wahid's had a little bit of an off, and that's allowed Lotus to get past. So Wahid currently 9th now. He seems to be having some trouble though. He's currently on 12 laps, and Bandcamp's come into pit. So what's the strategy here? Comes into pit with 4 laps. I guess maybe you do have to make your stop. Okay, well, Bandcamp will exit in front of Nut, so he'll lose 1 position to Jacob Meister there. And that'll put him something like 16 seconds behind. Yeah, there it is, 16 seconds behind 5th. Alright, so well, he's got some catching up to do to see if he can regain that spot. Don't like his chances, but we'll see. Potsy still in the lead, 14.4 seconds between him and Sphinx. So he's driving the pants off that car and he's doing a great job. It's been a hellish race for these guys to try and navigate. So much water. Couple that with the fact that these F2 cars are just very angry beasts. It's done well to keep them survived. Unfortunate for Geordie, Smitty and CK80, all of which who have retired or disqualified. Might jump in for the feature. The sprint race. Yeah, mad. That'll be alright. Add an extra... Bandcamp going sideways there. Lap 16 of 19. Let's jump up to combined. He's currently the closest between any of the drivers, 4.4 seconds behind himself and Ali. Nut with a 3-second time penalty. I believe that's his second 3-second time penalty. Because we've got a Sector 2, Sector 3 yellow flag. Wahid there. Quite a back marker. Wahid switched to the Super Softs? Fair enough. Sector 3 yellow flag, that's of course going to be Wahid. It's probably spun out horrendously. as he tries and limps his way across. Have a look at this. Boom. But not knocked out of the race. Oh, no way. Oh, my. Oh, my. Was that Potsy? No. Who was it that just collided with him? He has to get off that side of the track. It might have been Bandcamp. Oh man, he really has to get off the track. Oh boy. Not a great place to sit. Alright, let's have a... see if we can go back and look at that. So, obviously spun out into the pit lane. He's trying to straighten up and then... yeah, Bandcamp. Oh man. That's rough. Revo, my game is in German. I'll tell you what, man. So I always go on about how, like, talented you are in this game, but for you to take the immersion one step higher is insane. You need to chill. Have a Coke, bro. Chill. I put my game in German so that I can absorb the Hockenheim ring. The German announcers sound better. They probably do. They probably do. Got a Sector 2 yellow flag. Let's jump up a couple of positions there to Sphinx. Lap 18 of 19, so Potsy's only got 1 and a bit laps to go. Currently 13.6 seconds ahead. With an excellent drive there. Revo joining the lobby. Oh, we've got a Sector 3. Just saw a car. Exited off the track. Wahid is now retired from the session. So that makes 4 cars not finishing this race. So Potsy will cross the line to kick off our final lap of the feature race here, lap 19. Sphinx sets a fastest lap again, a 1:36.09. So he will take the fastest lap point, unless Potsy has something else to say about it. So let's jump up with our race leader, as he makes his way around the parabolica for the last time. A great drive by this gentleman. Managed to put himself on pole and stay there. Ooh, putting those 2 tyres in the grass. That's brave. Through Sector 3 into Sachs corner. This is what I call a dominant performance. It's pretty dominant. I mean, yeah, just obviously outshone everybody else here in the rain as he comes around that final corner. Congratulations to Potsy. He'll cross the line there with a first place. And that'll take the win here for the feature race at Hockenheim. Sphinx follows just behind with a great drive from the back. He'll cross the line in second. His teammate Ali coming around the final sections of the track now. Nice to see him on the podium. Hopefully I didn't just jinx him. He's only got 2 corners left. You can do it, mate. There we go. Round that final corner. He'll cross the line and he'll take 3rd position on the podium. Great job from Ali. Combined, 5 seconds behind. He'll take 4th as he decides to go Tokyo Drift right off the track. Jacob Meister crosses the line in 5th. Bandcamp slowly making his way at the back unfortunate for him, he got caught up in that massive turn 1 accident. And then hitting Wahid as he was spun on the main straight. He'll come across in 6th place. Final corner. Across the line. Solidify his position. Now on board with Nutt as he does the same. He comes across and he'll be 7th. Great job from him. And Lotus, with a very unfortunate incident coming out of the pits, took out his wing. And of course meant that he had to pit again. So he ended up in 8th. Alright, so an eventful first race. Ups and downs. But at the end of it, great drive there from Potsy to take that podium win. And of course Ali as well, definitely deserved 3rd on that podium win. I believe this is Potsy's first win. So congratulations to you, sir. And of course Sphinx, great drive as always. He always seems to put himself up there in the points. So he'll take that 2nd position fairly well. All right. Okay, so Potsy with your race win. Looks like he had a 3-second time penalty there to boot. Still managed to take that 1st position. Sphinx in 2nd. Ali in 3rd. Great drive from him combined. 4th. Jacob 5th. Bandcamp in 6th. Again, unfortunate for him because he did get caught up in all of that mess. Nutt in 7th. Lotus taking up the last of the finishing drivers there. He'll take 4 points. Wahid with an unfortunate DNF towards the end of the race, but he still takes 2 points for his trouble. CK80 will get the last point in 10th there, and unfortunate for Smitty and Geordie, who both DNF and a disqualification on Geordie's part very early on. So that means that they'll get 0 points. But of course, we are starting up now for the sprint race. We do have an extra person. Revo has decided to join us here for the sprint race. It is yet another wet race, so excuse me. This is going to be quite a hectic one. We'll see how it goes. But of course, remember, in F2, it means that the top 8 drivers swap places, which will mean that Potsy will start in 8th and Lotus will start in 1st. So this is Lotus's chance to try and get away from the chaos and see if he can hold on to that strong performance. As we see these drivers making their way around for their formation lap. Two teammates starting right next to each other. Sphinx in 7th, Ali in 6th. So, of course, sprint race, under normal circumstances, a sprint race requires you to you don't have to take your mandatory pit stop. There is none. You can just straight shot straight to the end. And of course, it is a shorter race. So instead of 19 laps, we're down to 14 laps. So we will see how that changes up for our drivers here. So now we've got 13 instead of 12 with the late addition of Revo here in the sprint race. See how that throws things together. He'll of course start at the back because of course he did join late, but knowing Revo and how talented he is behind the wheel, I'm sure he will climb up the ranks in no time, unless of course we get another unfortunate incident that takes out half the grid. Coming around to regroup up, and we'll be off and away for our final race of the night. Let's see if Lotus can make it work for himself, or can Potsy make his way from 8th and take the win again. Anything's possible here at Hockenheim, especially in the wet. Alright, everyone's booted up. You can hear those engines ready to go. So we'll just wait for those red lights to count down. Turn off. And we'll take off. And there we go. Okay, so the grid is off and away. Looks like a decent start for Lotus. Oh my god, Nut is sideways. He'll have to regroup, but it looks like Bandcamp and Jacob Meister will take the advantage. Jacob Meister goes out a little bit wide as Nut tries to reclaim that spot. Doesn't quite get it through, but it looks like everybody's made it pretty free, I should say. And that is a much better start than the feature race. And we are off. No, hold on a minute. We have some collisions. Okay, so it looks like Ali and Smitty both came together. You can see it at the back there. I'll just have a look. See if you can. So right at the back as they come round. You can see right at there, just at the back, they both come together. And that's caused them to slide all the way down to 11th and 12th. Alright, so Lotus still in the lead. Great job to hold on. Bandcamp hot on his heels, however. Nut and Jacob Meister both swapping positions. It looks like Jacob Meister went out. No, sorry, it was Nut. Nut has gone out way wide. He'll lose a couple of positions there, all the way down to 5th. You can see more cars coming so close together. Oh my god, Nut, you have to get that under control. Oh, hard on the brakes there as combined. Tries to miss. Sector 3 yellow flag. Oh, have a look at this. Potty with a brave move up on the inside. Takes 6th away from combined. But now he's got to be careful because it looks like Revo might be trying the same. On board with Revo. Combined goes out wide. Can't quite make the corner. That's going to give Revo a bit of an advantage as they move into the second turn. Oof, hard lockups there. But combined goes out way wide after that inside. So he's going to have a bad line coming through here, and you can already see Revo capitalising as he moves on to that left side. So it looks like he'll probably get the overtake here coming through as Sphinx does the same to Jacob Meister. Let's jump up a couple. Potty's doing the same to Nut. Oh, we have 3 overtakes happening right now. Potty makes the overtake there. It looks like Revo does the same, but he gets off a little bit worse. No, he keeps it. No worries. So Sphinx makes the overtake on Jacob Meister. Potty made the overtake on Nut, and Revo keeps that overtake as well. 1 position to each of those. So Sphinx makes his way into 3rd, Potty into 5th, Revo into 7th. Lotus still leading this race. Bandcamp 1.1 seconds behind him, but you can see these gaps from 4th to 8th are really closing down. So if we jump up a couple, you'll see that Jacob Meister is hot on the heels of Sphinx, and Potty is hot on the heels of him. So let's have a look. Will he go on the inside of Sack's corner? That's brave. That is absolutely brave, and it looks like he's attempting to do so. Have a look at this. Side by side through Sack's corner. But Potty couldn't make it work because it tightens up at the end of that corner. So it's one of those things where if you make a bad call, your opponent's you're going to collide with wheels and you're going to get forced off the track, and that's going to completely ruin your race. So it's probably a good idea that he didn't do that. Bandcamp comes across with a 1:37.8. That will be the fastest lap so far. I have a feeling it might get broken in a couple of seconds. Nope, I was wrong. Okay, so Bandcamp holding the fastest lap so far. Potty, 0.4 behind Jacob Meister as Jacob Meister is trying his best to try and get past Sphinx. God, it is. Look how hard it is to see out there. It must be insane if you're traveling behind like 4 or 5 cars. The water must just be an absolute ridiculous mist. So Potty is climbing ever so slowly, but you can see Willie look for that inside line. He's hard on the brakes. It looks like he's trying to see if he can get that. No, it does straighten out. So the car not quite doing so. He gets a little bit of a tart. Nut and Revo come together a little bit. Revo did get the overtake, but it doesn't look like he got the exit, so Nut managed to scramble it back. But it looks like Revo's going to go on the inside now, and he makes it work into Mercedes. There is a little bit of contact, but it's clean. Doesn't look like any damage. So Nut will. Great job there by Revo. Very aggressive as always. He takes 6th. Jump back up with Potty. Currently 5th. Finished 1st in our feature race. Took the win. Started 8th. Here in the sprint race has made his way up to 5th. Now trying to scramble forth from Jacob Meister, which Jacob Meister does start to drop away from Sphinx. Sphinx taking the fastest lap, so he's already finding his groove around the ring here in Germany. So Bandcamp's managed to make his way up to 0.4 between him and Lotus. Looks like Sphinx managed to make it under that 1 second mark as well. So Lotus is starting to have some trouble, and if he's not careful, he will get overtaken. Have a look here. Bandcamp looking for that inside line. Will he be able to make it work? Is he going to have a better exit? Oh, Lotus going way sideways, and that's him off. That's him in the wall. Oh, that's unfortunate. He's got to try and make his way back onto the track. He's probably going to rejoin at the back. Not quite. He'll rejoin just in front of CK80, who of course is trying to make his way back. Must have had a pretty bad off, especially at the end there. Alright, let's have a quick look at that again. So you can see Bandcamp sets himself up on that inside, and then looks like Lotus puts the gun up too hard when he collided back. When he tried to correct, it spun him way off, and that of course caused him to go straight off the track. So very unfortunate there for Lotus. Now Sphinx is eyeing off our current race leader Bandcamp. 0.6 is the gap. Now we know Sphinx has a lot of strong showings here at F2, but Bandcamp is the master of defense. So can Sphinx find a chink in the armor and make his way past? Time will tell. Lap 5 of 14. He's got more than half the race to try. As you can see, Sphinx really pushing it forward. Really go up on the inside line. No, not quite. Ali gets the overtake on Smitty. It looks like Smitty's had a bit of an incident. Bandcamp goes very, very wide through the hairpin. This might be the chance that Sphinx needed. Oh, but it doesn't look like he's got the legs. Bandcamp does manage to get it further past. Have a look at how close these drivers are, though. In the rain coming through Mercedes. He takes the nice tight inside line. It looks like Bandcamp's going to get caught out, but Bandcamp does have the advantage coming into the next set of complex, and he'll pull it off. He'll still stay in the lead, but Sphinx is very, very close behind. The other thing Sphinx has to be worried about, of course, is that the water coming off the back of Bandcamp there, that could unsettle the aerodynamics of his car, so he's got to be really careful, because just as dirty air affects you as you try and come around, that water can throw you off. So, have a look at this, side by side as they come into that last corner, and Jacob Meister is spending no time as well. Sphinx goes out on the outside. He's all over the track. Bandcamp now slots in behind, and Jacob Meister does the same. Excuse me. Lap 6 of 14. Sphinx with an amazing drive goes right up on the outside, manages to overtake Bandcamp. Bandcamp holds on to second place. But through all that battling, Jacob's also come into the fray. So Sphinx now is on the defensive. Bandcamp has to try and get past him, and Jacob Meister has to try and hold the gap between these two as well. And if this goes on for the rest of the race, we could see quite a crazy fight for the finish. Potsy in fourth there, slowly but surely making his way up. Have a look at this. Late breaks all around. Jacob Meister forced to go off the track to try and make that up. Looks like Potts is going to capitalise. He's going to slot right in beside. Bandcamp almost took first, but didn't have the legs coming out of the corner. So Sphinx will retain. Jacob in third. Have a look at Potsy. Right up behind him. Will he look to make a move here in Mercedes? Looks like he's doing a hard break to try and get on the inside. There's going to be contact. That's going to be a force. But it looks like Jacob Meister will hold the position. But have a look at this. Revo makes a move on Potsy. Capitalizes on the mistake. Potsy drops down one. Revo goes up one. Revo's now in fourth. He's trying to chase down Jacob Meister. Like an absolute ninja in the night, Revo's managed to just find the small mistakes that his opponents do and then just absolutely capitalizes on them. Currently fourth. Started at the back of the grid. Has made his way to fourth place. It is lap 6 of 14. We'll see if Revo can keep slashing and dashing his way through all of his enemies here. Well, enemies is a strong word, I should say. Rivals. As they drive around here. In Germany, Potsy now 0.7 behind. And Revo is getting closer and closer. Jacob Meister's really got to watch out. One good line and Revo's gone for good. Here we go. Up through the Parabolica. Ooh, gets a little bit wrestly. So it looks like he's probably going to have a decent attempt here. Oh, have a look at that toe. Goes up on the inside. Hard break. But he's got to try and make it work. That is a massive lockup. Oh. Risky gamble. Didn't quite pay off. And Potsy's now a little bit closer in the fray. He's dropped it down to 0.5. But no damage for Revo there. So no worse for wear. Nut and Combined get a bit of an overtake. They Nut manages to make that 6th position work. Oh, but he gives a 3-second time penalty, so all the hard work gone. Currently on board with our race 1 winner, Potsy. Trying to see if he can catch up to Revo. We're currently at the halfway mark of the race. Sphinx still in the lead, but only by 1.7 seconds, so it's not anything to be comfortable about. Closest battles are the ones you see in front of you. Revo only 7. Oh, looks like Ali and Wahid. Wahid seems to have... Yep, he's off the track there. Okay. Not a great race weekend for him, I must say. Alright, let's go back up to Revo. Sector 1 yellow flag. Looks like CK80's had a bit of an incident at the back. Alright, so lap 8 of 14. Jacob Meister's managed to put himself 0.5, within 0.5 of Bandcamp. And Revo's coming in hot and heavy. Oh, but Potsy! Way off the side. That is very unfortunate for him, and he's also got wing damage. Oh, he rejoins in a very, very dangerous spot. Ali's probably going to have to really hard up as Wahid leaves the session. Alright, let's just rejoin. You can have a look here. So as they're coming around, just take a spot there at Potsy at the back. And he's on the track, and he's not on the track. Boom! Straight into that DHL sign in Sachs corner. Didn't quite have the grip required. It's caused him to now drop all the way down to 9th as he pulls into the pits. On board with Revo. Looking to make a move on Jacob Meister, but he's got to be careful because the last time he tried this, he ended up locking up quite hard. Oh, he might even get past. Yep, I saw that coming. He had absolutely zero control over that car. He went way too fast, thought he could get that late brake dive. Oh my god. Jacob Meister. Oh, and he does it again. There's contact everywhere. Okay, so Bandcamp manages to keep him in second, but the gap between himself and Sphinx in first is 5 seconds. It's absolutely blown out here. Excuse me. So Jacob and Revo are fighting like crazy, and Bandcamp's trying to fend them off. We will cut back to that earlier incident once we figure out how this all pans out. Let's have a look. So Bandcamp will come around that final corner. Jacob Meister very, very close behind. Revo's trying to keep up. Did he get any damage from that? Yes, he did. he has lost his front left wing. So he's missed the end plate. Right, so hard on the brakes. Can Revo make this work? Oh, looks like Potsy's off. Sector 3. And it's a retirement, so it's quite a heavy hit. Oh, Revo with a massive lockup. He's trying to pull up in time. Actually, you know what? That's not bad. He managed to hold that apex. Not bad. It's not ideal, but at least it wasn't 100 k's an hour into the side of a car. Oh, Revo goes out a little bit wide as he comes into Mercedes. We'll cut back now. Let's have a quick look there. So you can see Revo goes for that inside line and then just like, oh, can't stop. Boom. Right into the side of Bandcamp there. Phew, man. That's heavy. Okay, so still a tight, close battle here. Sphinx has managed to blow out his lead to 6 seconds. You can see him on the top of the screen there just briefly as he is riding high. All he has to do is keep his nose clean and he'll take the win. Go from a second position to third. Posse couldn't be bothered after getting damaged again. Yeah, it's pretty rough, man. We're going up wide as well, so he's starting to drop down a lot of time. Ooh. Combined. At the back here in 6th, battling for 5th. As Nut gets a little bit wide coming into the corner. Combined will probably get the advantage here moving through Parabolica. Let's have a look. Up through the gears. He'll get a decent toe. If he can manage to slot right in behind, then of course hopefully he can brake in time because the hairpin is where all your hard work can come undone. So will he go left, will he go right? See, Nut puts himself right center. All Combined has to do is try and stop. Not quite going to work. So Nut does make the better move. And he will keep 5th. Combined now has to take a second attempt. But my God, is he close. So 0.5 the gap currently between Combined and Nut. Jacob Meister is also 0.5 behind Bandcamp. Revo did drop down to the 1.5 mark, having a little bit of trouble there with coming out of that first turn. So we'll see if he can recoup. 2 laps to go. Ooh, Revo with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Oh, geez, Combined. A little bit of a cut there. See a little bit of rubber banding. That's never good. Gets that short shift to try and keep the traction on point. And it looks like it's working. Because he is very, very close now. So he's probably going to get an easy overtake on the way to the hairpin. But the question is, can he hold on to it? Oh, they are awfully close to each other. Yeah, who's going to have the better exit? Oh, it looks like Nut, but he's wrestling the steering wheel a little bit. Oh, but the speed maintains. Nut stays in 5th. Jeez. Oh, no. Oh, absolutely. Oh, no. Oh, okay, so Combined colliding into the back of Nut there, forcing him off the track. That's allowed Ali to take over. Nut drops down 2 positions there. Let's go back. So, a great close battle there. And then Combined, caught off guard with how hard Nut hit the brakes, and boom, straight off into the back of him. And that caused Nut to get spun off the track. So, that's unfortunate. Something stewards might have to have a look at. So late in the race too, not doing very, very well to hold to that position, but Oh, and he's got massive wing damage as well. Have a look at that. He's got broken fins and a missing end plate on that right side. That is absolutely sad. And now it's going to be a nightmare trying to make some of these corners in the wet. Lotus, of course, like a lion preying on the weak. He'll be looking to try and capitalise on this between now and the end of the race. He's only 1.8 seconds behind. I'm sure he can make something work. So Lotus is closing in, 1.5 now. While they're doing that, let's just jump up a couple of positions. As Jacob Meister is still trying to chase down Bandcamp. Bandcamp doing a great job holding him off. Sphinx 7.8 seconds, ahead of Bandcamp, so he is just blitzing this lead right now. Sets a fastest lap to boot, 1:36.4. Lotus overtakes Nut there at the back, so it finally happened. Lotus will take 7th. Nut has to be happy with 8th. Now we are on lap 14, so this is the end of the race. The closest battle is the one you are watching. So it's up to Jacob Meister to try and make a move, because this will be the last time that he can. Moving into the Parabolica. 0.3 behind. How will it evolve? Moving their way through to the hairpin. Too far back to really do anything, so right now he'll just want to try and capitalise on a great exit. It's a bit sharp, but it should work. 0.6 is the gap now. Revo 6 seconds behind. It's a very unfortunate race for him. He was looking so good as well until there's a little bit of that fighting going on between the three of them. And then, of course, he did drop back. So, however, he's still got a 6-second lead ahead of Combined, so 4th is probably where he'll finish. But right now, the question is, will Jacob Meister be able to overtake Bandcamp before the end of the race? They've just moved into Sector 3, so not a lot of track to go. We've got the Sachs curve. Then, of course, you've got 13, 14, 15, and then, of course, Sud curve, the final corner. Jacob Meister, if there's a place to attack, it's going to be now. Let's have a look. He's getting awfully close. Will he try and go on the outside like Sphinx did earlier? But he's got to be careful not to bump him out, because then, of course, you bring yourself up for penalty. But it looks like Bandcamp, the master of defence, will be able to hold on. Oh, he tries to go on the outside, and it's caused a massive ruckus. Jacob Meister has retired from the session. Oh, and it looks like Revo does the same. Oh, what is happening? What is happening? Oh, Revo takes out Jack. Oh my god. Oh my god, Nuts trying to avoid him as well. Massive chaos. Oh my god. Okay. I have no idea what the replay cam captured, but let's have a look here. How far back did it go? Alright, unfortunately it didn't capture, but it did capture Revo. Oh, forcing Combined off there. I tell you what, that is... I cannot believe... Oh my god, and he's got a flat. Oh my god, I cannot believe that Jacob Meister DNF'd on the main straight on the last lap. It was a valiant effort for a move. You've got to give him props for that. But it did not pay off. And not only that, but he was on a wet ripple strip trying to overtake when he ended up colliding with the tyres. That was always going to happen. I honestly didn't think it'd DNF him. I thought he'd just bounce off the wall and keep going. But no, it DNF'd him. He was third, and now he's DNF'd. That, for lack of a better term, sucks. But anyway, that is your sprint race done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. Sphinx with the win. Congratulations to you, sir. You will take home the points. In first, Bandcamp. Nice defense there to hold on a second. Combined takes third as Revo and Jacob Meister both completely bin it at the end there. Great job from everyone. Unfortunate there for Potsy, who did DNF after getting that damage. Jacob Meister DNFing on the last lap on the main straight. Art Lee had a DNF there as well. I didn't even notice that one, so it's a very unfortunate race for them guys. Okay, well, another F2 race done and dusted. I've been Kunai Zero. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I know I have. We will catch you around on the next one. Thank you for watching. Have a great one.